Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. As part of our Real Estate Essentials segment, I am pleased to have from Amsco Windows, I've got Sean Guthrie here and Zach Handcuff. Gentlemen, welcome both of you to the show. Thrilled to have you here.
Good to be here.
Indeed. You know, it's probably the most important part of a house, and I think people forget all about how important it is because they figure if you can see out of it, it's working.
Right.
And that's your windows. But that may not necessarily be the case. Just because you can see through them doesn't mean they're doing their job.
Right. Yeah, we like to think it's the most important part. Not everyone agrees with us, but you know,
you got to be able to see out, otherwise it's just a big box.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You got to have some character to it. You know, Amsco Windows, we're a Utah-based company.
Yep.
We've been around since 1949. So we service the United States. We also service some of foreign countries as well, all based out of here in Utah.
Is that
so,
right?
Yeah. So over the years, you know, 66 years is our birthday this year. We've developed some really great partnerships. Sean is here representing one of our finest through all-purpose windows. Is a great distributor of ours, and we do a lot of work here in the state.
Excellent. Well, thrilled to have you both here to talk about windows because, like you said, they're very important. And one of the things that we think about often is the energy that's lost if you don't have good windows. And that energy, that money right there, oftentimes can be enough to replace all those windows, can it?
That's correct. Sometimes people get caught up in price. And when they get caught up in price, you can look at it from a standpoint, you could take plastic and one by strips and block out energy, right? So the key is really putting in a good window that's installed properly, that's going to allow you to save energy both in the summertime and in the wintertime.
Indeed.
And so that's why we like to partner with the Amsco window product and the things that they have to offer that can help the homeowners here in Utah.
Well, that makes sense with your name, All-Purpose Windows, because
Exactly.
we're talking all season right there, aren't we?
Exactly.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about, you know, let's talk all-purpose for a moment. Let's talk about the difference between what a good window does in the summer and what a good window does in the winter.
Well, in the summertime, you know, people are mostly concerned about solar heat gain,
Right.
and what's coming into the house, and there's a cost that involves keeping and blocking that out, whether it's air conditioning or making your home comfortable. Now, there's been studies done that say if you don't have good glass, and it starts with the glass, if you don't have good glass in your home, you can lose up to 9 square feet around every window, which would be considered living space. So a couch or a chair or a dining room table, for example.
I don't consider it lost space. I just consider it to be cat space.
There
That's where the
you go.
cats want to hang out.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Stay there in that heat. You go right ahead.
Exactly. And so the key is blocking that out in the summertime and making the home comfortable, reducing your air conditioning cost,
Right.
and then the wintertime is blocking and keeping that radiant heat back into the house from a fireplace or your furnace. And you do that through glass, and you do that by using Amsco products.
That's awesome. All right, well, let's talk about some of the Amsco products and some of the things that are out there. We hear a lot of things, and I don't understand all of them. I don't even pretend to. There's low-E glass. There's all kinds of different tints and things. Talk to me about what is available now, what some of the best things are.
Yeah, it's interesting. When vinyl first came on the market, so vinyl windows, this is in the late 80s. And it's come a long way since then. You know, the compounds that go into it to make it stronger to where you can offer lifetime warranties on a product.
Right.
But aside from the frame, you get talking about the low E's, and what low E is, it's actually a silver metallic layer inside your glass, so you don't even see it. But that's what prohibits the sun rays, the ultraviolet rays, from bouncing inside, and it also helps keep your heat build up in the winter. It bounces it back inside your home as too.
Wow.
So, but now on top of that, you know, you come out with low E, but now they keep improving it. So now you've got about 3 different levels of low E, and then you can mix it with the tints. And so you have options for aesthetic purposes if you want to just give your curb appeal. You know, you get a pop to your house by redoing your windows, as well as saving. I mean, you can save almost 20% in your energy bills by replacing your windows.
And energy prices aren't going down, are
That's
they?
right. That's right.
And where you can save it like this, that's a direct, you know, that's directly back to your pocketbook. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier when we were promoting you guys coming out today to talk with us was something that's sort of very Park City-ish. Maybe there's a couple places in Salt Lake that maybe have this issue, but we've got a lot of historic homes, and there are some serious requirements about what you can and can't do. you guys can work with that. So talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, Sean knows quite a bit about that subject.
So what we do at All Purpose, when we get a request from a homeowner to replace their windows, and it depends on the market, but up in Park City, a couple things that Park Cities wants to do, obviously, which makes sense, is to hold that historic look. And historically, the double hung window, the heavier sashes, the heavier frame, and through the AMSCO Artisan Series is what the product that we would recommend, because it's got a heavier frame, heavier sashes. The glass is equal in appearance.
Right.
And it has multiple colors, and so then what we do is obviously that has to be approved by the city.
Yeah, so you do have multiple colors. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you get white.
Yeah.
It's vinyl, it's white.
Yeah.
Not the case.
Right.
No, they've got, through the AMSCO, we've got the bronze on the exterior, red on the exterior, we have a taupe color, of course we have white, and then we, like Zach was saying, you can make that pop a little bit by putting a simulated divided light look on that window. That's that grid bar.
Love that.
Yeah, that's a great look. Fits and is accepted by the historical renovation people as meeting the requirements. So that's a good product to lead with up here in Park City.
Indeed.
And it's not that much more expensive to do that.
Boy, and the difference that's going to make when you go from a single pane piece of glass to something like this, where you're finally getting some energy savings. No more having to tack up plastic every winter. Oh boy, that's a huge difference, isn't it?
Yep.
It is. Well, and the reduce is going back to the low E, and sometimes when you're mixing in the low E, you reduce that condensation. Now, for example, this morning we noticed frost on the ground, so it's probably right around 30 degrees. By this afternoon, it might be 70 degrees. It's a pretty big jump in your temperature, but with your low E coatings, you're stabilizing that outside air and the inside air in your home. Whereas, like you mentioned, the single pane doesn't do that. You're going to feel that come through.
All right, so here's the next big question I know a lot of people have, and that is how difficult or easy, and I think it sounds like it's not too difficult anymore, it is to have those windows replaced, because you're thinking about, oh, well, there's wood, all around it, and there's, it's going to be the trim outside, and they start just getting wound up into how much work this is going to be. You guys can replace them in, what, a day? Is that right?
Pretty much. You look at it, and our certified installers are important to us, and that's just as important to the window as your installation. So you look at it, for example, if you're dealing with an existing wood frame window, we look at it and see, okay, is that window stable? Has it been taken care of and maintained over the years? If it has, we can insert that vinyl window right into that wood frame.
Wow.
So the outside stays the same. The inside can stay the same, as long as it's still stable. And that's what our installers and our measurers, our guys, determine. If not, we could recommend even wrapping that exterior wood window frame. If it's an old aluminum frame, there's a couple ways to install it. If the integrity of the installation originally was good, then we could step that new frame over that old aluminum frame by taking out the sashes, maintaining that original installation, and using what we call a flush fin window through AMSCO. So there's a couple different methods of install. You can even go right back down to making it a very good new construction install on a replacement window application.
That is cool. And nothing changes the look of a home in windows. I mean, it's a big difference, right?
Yep.
So you can really upgrade that house pretty quickly by doing something like this.
Right. The windows are the eyes to the home, right? That's what everybody says.
Indeed.
And they are. And curb appeal is important. So going back to that same look, especially in the real estate market, you drive up, you can tell when somebody has new windows. At least window people can tell.
Yeah.
But you can tell when you drive up if they've got new windows or old windows.
Yeah.
So what does one do when they are getting ready for this process? And should they, when they call you up, what should they expect as far as how it will go? I assume you guys send somebody up to take some measurements, give them some ideas of different types of windows?
Correct. At All Purpose, we have 2 showrooms in the Salt Lake Valley, but they can come in there, they can make a phone call, have somebody come up from All Purpose to do an in-home presentation on product as far as the different frame types, different colors, different glazing options, and then really helping the homeowner understand and be educated on windows before they make that important decision, as well as going over and creating a bid opportunity or proposal opportunity, and then meeting with the homeowners again and bringing up an installer if they decide to go with all-purpose. He does more measurements, making sure they're accurate and making sure it's the right application.
Indeed. Wow, this is awesome stuff. If people want to get a hold of all-purpose, and of course they want to use AMSCO windows, what do they do? Where do they go?
Best thing to do is go to our website,
Okay.
which is all-purpose, and they can look at that, and there's the numbers that are on there in the different locations, and that's the best approach.
All right. New exciting things coming from AMSCO, always?
Always coming out with something new. We've in fact, just launched another color. We're doing a silver. You know, a lot of people want a vinyl silver color now, so we're seeing that across, mostly in the western states right now.
Yeah.
But you know, we have
Modern homes, that looks really good.
Yeah, it gives them another option, and we also offer on our website right now an AMSCO Windows. It's a AMSCO Windows 101. So if you're looking or thinking about replacing your windows, you can kind of go through there, and it will ask you the questions like that Sean and his people would ask you if they were in your home. So you kind of have an idea of what to expect through the process, and it leads you down that direction on what you want.
Well, Sean said something very important earlier, and that is that they can do a lot when they get a window that was done right in the first place. That's what I want to have. I want it done right when you guys come, and that's why I call all-purpose. Thanks, guys, so much.
Thank you.
Being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. All-purpose and AMSCO windows, and the websites I hope you saw on the screen here just a moment ago. We've got a lot more coming up right here on the Mountain Morning Show. After these commercial messages, we're going to be talking about all the things that go on with Seco Block.